Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And it's going to be a quick exhortation, dealing with tests, okay, being tests, in all forms, but mainly dealing with the tests from Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. All right. And I was speaking with a brother, and the conversation of tests came up, and we're pretty much talking about how it seems like everything that happens is a test. Like every day there's some test going on. There's in various different ways. You're being tried. Sometimes you don't even know that you're being tried. Sometimes you're being tried in ways that you wouldn't have even thought about. Because keep in mind that everything that we go through is orchestrated by the Heavenly Father Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. So nothing is going to happen to you that's not, calculated and set up already in the spirit to happen to you, the way it happened to you, whatever outcome you turned out in. Okay, and sometimes things are more severe, in the flesh, that you tend to just look at it as an event that occurred, and sometimes it gets the better of you to where it takes a while before you analyze it through the spirit and see, I see, the Lord had this happen for a reason, and in most cases it isn't until you see the reason before you look back and realize, yeah, this is the Lord had this happen, definitely to test me in some way, shape, or form. Okay, now remember, not all tests are the same. All right, because keep in mind that the Lord is preparing us to be judges, all right, of really the universe, okay, of not only Israelites, but of heathens as well. Okay, and so as a judge, there's going to be different instances that you're going to be presented with that test your knowledge, your decision making, your integrity. Okay, whether you're a respecter of person, it tests all of these in different ways. The scriptures talk about if a poor man, offended, all right, or went off in a certain he broke the law in a certain way, and if it was something dealing with something he had to pay or whatever penalty it was, you can't say, well, I feel bad because he's poor and he can't afford it, or he can't do this, and so I'm gonna cut him some slack. Or no, you can't do that. See, but that's a test in another way, because sometimes there's certain situations you're put in, and it's similar to the situation I just described, and you might feel bad inside for having to make a right decision. But once again, it's a test. The Lord is looking to see, all right, well, remember, you feeling bad, that's your emotion. And the Lord sees that, but he's looking to see, can you put that aside and make a correct judgment? Okay? Sometimes you may be put in an uncomfortable position where the Lord might test you to see, okay, well, are you a respecter of persons? Now, see, here's something a little more touchy, because that's easier to do, right, when you're dealing with, maybe brothers in the same experience as you, or brothers that are younger than you, but now what if the Lord puts you in a test where he puts you in a position to where you see, for example, maybe a brother that's has more experience than you, or you look up to, or whatever the case is. And I'm just putting out a hypothetical situation out there, all right, but just to have you be put in that mindset, right? And the Lord says, I'm going to test you to see if you're a respecter of persons. Now, the Lord might have it with somebody that you really look up to. And the Lord might have you witness, maybe, he might have them do something that may not be right, something that may be off, to test you to see, okay, well, now you witnessing that, you being there, what are you going to do? Okay, how are you gonna act in that situation? Are you gonna pervert judgment because you're it's somebody that's over you, so to speak, and you feel like, damn, I really look up to this person, and damn, it's an uncomfortable position to be in. It feels weird to even say anything. But I'm like I said, I'm just throwing this out there because these are different tests, and some are on a much higher difficulty than others. But whether you can see it in the moment or not, we're being tested all the time. Various different things. Sometimes you may just be coming out of a terrible situation, and just when you get the Lord throws you a bone, or you get some slack, and you come to find out that the slack that you got, something else happens. But you notice that at the end of these tests, the Lord delivers you. And yet, how is it that every single time we're faced with the test, we still have that same feeling of being tested? How is it that we get tested all the time? Our faith gets tried all the time. And when you have faith in the Lord, you pray and He delivers you. You know what that feels like. And yet, when your faith is tested again, it almost seems like you forgot the feeling. It almost seems like you're being tested again for the first time. That feeling of, damn, Lord. Well, that's how the faith tests work. If it was a one-time test and you'll be good for all, then that wouldn't be so difficult. Okay? But this is the book of Wisdom of Solomon. Actually, I want to start with the book of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus chapter 2, verse 5. And the reason was because, like I was saying, the Lord is preparing us to be judges. So he's validating, he's constantly testing us, all right, to make sure that by the time we get changed and we get delivered out of here, we have been, well proved. We've been well tried in diverse situations. Okay? Now this is the book of Ecclesiasticus chapter 2, verse 5. It says, "For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity." Now, when you try gold in the fire, like, I'm not a goldsmith or a blacksmith, okay? But speaking as a man, I'm pretty sure that when you're purifying gold, you don't just put it in the fire, take it out, put it in the fire, take it out, put it in the fire, like every 1 second, you're just in the fire, out, in the fire, out, in the fire, out. I'm sure you put it in the fire and you keep it there. Okay, and as it starts to get purified, or it starts to hit a certain temperature, or whatever the condition is that it satisfies, then you take it out. Well, guess what? We're in the fire. That's why we're constantly being tested. That's why we're constantly feeling the heat. Sometimes you get a relief and then it comes right back. And sometimes you just be in that slump and it's just like, damn, Lord, hell after hell after hell, what's going on? And sometimes the Lord got you in one position and then He takes you out of that position, but now your new position is better than, it'll help you maneuver through whatever condition you were in before, but now it brings its new challenges that you now need to readjust your mind to and try to figure out how you're going to get across with this. Well, the Lord is doing that. How adaptable are you? Are you stuck? Are you complacent? Or are you able to just hit the ground running with whatever the Lord throws at you? Right? So we're constantly in the fire, being tried, test after test after test, sometimes multiple tests at once. And they come in all ways, shape, and forms. They come brothers and sisters, because those tests don't happen like, okay, I'm at camp, so I'm being tested. No, these tests happen throughout your day, your whole life, constantly. All right, wherever you are, whether you're at work, you're on the train, you're on your way home, whatever the case is. All right, and you constantly find yourself in a position of being tried, and in most cases, it's something that really gets to you. Sometimes it's something that just gets to you, something that demons would love to take advantage of. Something that would, if you're not a spiritual man, it would turn you to the mindset that Job's wife had. See, and you got more minor tests and more major tests. Okay, now this is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, verse 6. It says, as gold in the furnace hath he tried them, and received them as a burnt offering. And in the time of their visitation they shall shine. So that's going to be the end goal. And that's a part of the exhortation, which is understand that, number one, it's not just you going through it. Okay, we're all going through it. Remember, we're all being tried. The Lord said, I will make a man more precious than fine gold. Fine gold is tried. It's purified. So if you are to be made more precious than that, you are also going to be purified and tried in the what? In the furnace of adversity. Whether it's financial hardships or infirmities in the flesh, in the body, okay, in the mind, or it's just, certain things that happen to you outwardly, certain events that befall you, things just start going bad. Everything just starts going bad at once. You drop something and, you can't catch it, all these things. And it's just like, damn, like back to back to back, what the hell is going on? But at that point, that's when you have to stop and analyze. Remember, the scriptures say that all things work to the good of them that love the Lord. Okay, and the Lord is in control of everything. So you got to stop and say, okay, well, hold on a second. If I'm serving the Lord, I'm sincerely serving Him with all my heart, doing the best that I can, and yet I know that nothing would happen lest He sanctions it to happen, and yet this calamity is befalling me. What's going on? Am I being punished for something? Or is the Lord trying to see something? Is He looking for something? Because why would the Lord out of nowhere just do that? Well, you think of it like if you had a kid, if you had a child that you love your child, and this child that you love is obedient to you, they're doing the best to please you. Why would you randomly just, throw a hurdle in their way? Because at some point you want to prove them. But now you don't just throw hurdles in your children's way just for fun. There's a lesson that you're trying to teach them. Look, when you punish your children, it's not because I have the power to, so I'm going to do it. I'm a parent and parents whoop their kids' asses. So just because he did wrong, I'm just going to whoop his ass. Good. When you chastise your child, you have to make sure they understand why they're being chastised so they can learn whatever lesson it is they need to learn from that chastisement. You may whoop their ass, but then you got to make them understand why it is you're whooping their ass. And so next time they learn their lesson. But if you just whooping his ass, he's what the hell's going on? Well, that's what the Lord does with us. The Lord ain't just going to whoop our ass for no reason. He's not just going to throw some hurdle in our way for no reason. He must want to see something. He must want to test us. Hey, sometimes the Lord might throw a curveball at you, something that you're not used to handling. And you're like, why would the Lord throw this kind of problem at me? Because the Lord is like, you know what? I like this one. But is he prepared? Throw this kind of hurdle at. I know he's good at this, and that, but now throw this at him. See how does he move then? All right. Maybe he may not have, he's solid, but he may not have a woman. So you know what? Throw a woman his way. And, whatever she comes with, the Lord has it to where, you deal with her, she deals with you, and you start dealing with each other. And now there's a dynamic change because now you're not just how you were before. Now you got to deal with women are what? They're attention seekers. So now you got to deal with that aspect. So this is the Lord testing you also in that way. Now you may be with the woman for years, 10, 15 years, thinking, damn, the Lord finally blessed me with a woman, which he did. But then there's also a test. And you may think, 16 years, damn, Lord's testing me for 16 years. Yeah, you're damn right. Okay, and all of that, he's looking, okay, well, how much effort are you putting in? How is he moving in this new condition I've put him in? Is his focus still solid? Okay, now have her start to try to get his Saturdays, the days he goes out to teach. Have her try to interrupt every time he tries to do a sit down. How does he handle that? What does he do? Is my word still precious? Have her threaten to leave. Have her threaten to do these things. Have her turn into a demon real quick. How does that affect his passion for my word? His drive for my word. It's all a test, and we're all being tested in different ways constantly. Even when you get blessed, it's a test because the Lord is now looking to see, well, all right, you know what? I put him through hell. I see how he is now. How does he behave when I bless him? Because guess what? There's some blessings that to some turn into a curse. Read the book of Kings and you'll find out there's certain kings who were doing good. And then when the Lord started to bless them and they started to grow, they left off from the way of the Lord. See? So even times when you get blessed, that's also a test for the Lord to see, well, how do you handle that? Do you give me credit? Do you forget that you prayed for it? Do you forget about, do you lose your integrity? What happens? Do you become proud? Do you become high-minded? All of these things. It's, whatever you find yourself in, it's constantly, whether it's testing your character or your brotherly love or your compassion or charity or whatever it is. But you know what? The more you read the scriptures and learn and observe and live the ways of the scriptures, you'll find yourself passing these tests without trying, without having to be told what to do, because your life is lived after the ways of our forefathers, right? Those that did right by the Lord. They're drawing inspiration after that spirit of Yahushua. And so when these tests come, naturally you'll be able to maneuver through them. Because if you're sincerely trying to be walk the path of a servant of the Lord, then when you're put in a certain situation, you'll think, well, what would a servant of the Lord do in this situation? Like, what would Yahushua do in this situation? And then when you emulate that based on what you understand from the scriptures, you'll see that you'll handle that situation in a certain way, and that might just be what the Lord is looking for. Okay? So let me continue here. It says here, and in the time of their visitation, Wisdom of Solomon 3:7, they shall shine and run to and fro like sparks among the stubble. They shall judge the nations and have dominion over the people, and their Lord shall reign forever. And that's ultimately what we want. But we got to get there. You got to pass that test. You might fail one or two here and there, but even in failing, there's a lesson that the Lord is teaching you that you may use to pass the next test. All right. But if you're of the elect, understand that the Lord has designed you to be able, he's tailored the test for you to pass it. If you're of the elect, your spirit is just going to be able to handle it. All right. As it says in the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 13, it says, there hath no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. See, so whatever you go through, understand this isn't some new joint. This isn't something just exclusive to you. Sometimes it may feel like it. But because we're the main characters in our own minds, but guess what? It says, there have no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. It says, but the Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able. So when you get tempted to the point where you feel like, Lord, I can't do this anymore, you got to then sit back and ask yourself, but if I feel like I can't do this, why would the Lord put me through this when he said that he wouldn't put me in a situation that I couldn't handle? So this is one of two things. Either the Lord wasn't being truthful and he is putting me in a situation that I truly can't handle, or I need to man up and realize that the only reason I'm in this situation is because I can handle it. Because the Lord is not a liar. And the scriptures say he will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able. So whatever temptation you find yourself in, no matter how hard it is, realize that the Lord knows that you're going to be able to, overcome it. And sometimes there are temptations that are not meant for you to overcome. Sometimes there are temptations that are just meant for you to endure for a bit before you get an exit. It's like there are certain video games that certain missions are designed for you not to complete the objective so that a certain cutscene can roll. You know, you may be chasing a character, right? It's a chase and, you know, you running and a dude is running, but they designed the game to where you're not, it's that the objective says catch him, but you're not going to ever be able to catch him. You're not supposed to catch him. All right. So there's certain obstacles that you're not supposed to overcome, at least the way you're thinking of. You may say, I'm going through this, but you know what? I'm going to come out on top. Well, sometimes the Lord is like, I don't need you to come out on top. I need you to stay on the bottom and learn. There's something I'm trying to show you from the bottom. And so I'm going to make sure you don't come out on top. And after you learn that lesson from the bottom, then I'm going to give you an exit out of it. The goal was for you, the goal of this test wasn't for you to win and become all champion. No. The goal was for you to take L's and learn from those L's. And then I'm gonna have you stop taking those L's. So there's so many different tests in so many different ways. But as it says, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. You hear that? So it's a test, but it's not a test that you can't pass. Once you realize that, you'll start to look for the solution, because there has to be a solution, right? Now, it says Hebrews 12:11, it says, now no chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous. And this is important because, I know I'm speaking, I'm doing this lesson, but I'm not saying that these tests are easy. Okay, I'm not saying that this is something that, everybody just gets excited at, because it's not easy. There's certain tests that they just sober you the hell up to the point where you're like, yo, why is this necessary? And it's hard. It's not easy. When look, we're in the flesh. So there's certain pains and certain troubles and headaches that hurt more than others, that stress you out more than others. And sometimes you get so vexed, you feel your blood running cold, and then you get more vexed not being able to do anything about it. So in no way am I saying that these tests are easy, okay, or fun. But then I have to give you the reality. I gotta tell you I gotta tell you as it is, because that's how it is. So we understand, right? Romans 12:11, no chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous, but grievous. All right, and that's true. Nevertheless, afterward, it yieldeth the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby. So the sweetness is not in the taste, but it's in the effect. Okay? The sweetness is not in the taste, but it's in the effect. When you eat healthy, you eat greens and vegetables, the sweetness is not in the taste, it's in the effect, it's in how it benefits you. And it's not like candy that the sweetness is in the taste, because in those cases, in most cases like that, the effect of it is bitter. Okay? It has a bitter effect. So you got to keep that in mind. This chastening, all right, the sweetness of the chastening is not in the actual chastening in the present time, right? But more so in the fruit that it yields afterward. And that's why we have to be patient through it, okay, and endure through it, knowing that, there's a reason why this is happening. And as the scriptures say in Romans 8:28, that is for my benefit. Okay, better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. So with that, I'm going to end it here. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakak Kudash. And until next time, Shalom.